Israel launched powerful strikes on Iran's nuclear facilities in June 2025. It was Operation Rising Lion, an attack to stop Iran's nuclear program. Iran responded with rockets, damaging a medical center in Be'er Sheva. What lies at the root of this conflict? Today we will uncover the reasons behind the confrontation between Israel and Iran and its current state. Until 1979, Israel and Iran were allies. Iran supplied oil, Israel weapons. The USA supported Iran under the rule of Shah Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, providing military and economic aid to strengthen it as an ally in the Middle East. The USA similarly supported Israel, providing military and financial aid after its creation in 1948, to strengthen it as a strategic partner in the Middle East and support the creation of a Jewish state after the Holocaust. The Islamic Revolution in Iran in 1979 changed the regional dynamics. The people rose up against the Shah due to corruption and Western influence. Ayatollah Khomeini, a religious Shia leader, seized power, proclaimed an Islamic republic, and called Israel an enemy due to its control over Palestinian lands and ties with the USA. This hostility was closely tied to the Palestinian issue, which shaped tensions in the Middle East. To understand its importance, we must return to the events that shaped the modern conflict. In 1947, the UN proposed to divide Palestine, which was a British colony, into Jewish and Arab states. Jews were immigrating to Palestine due to the Zionist movement, which called for the creation of a Jewish state. British policy after the Holocaust, when millions of Jews were killed in Europe, supported this immigration. The plan was to create separate states for Jews and Palestinians. Israel was to receive 56% of the territory, including part of the coast and the Negev desert, and Palestinians 43%, including Gaza, the West Bank, and part of the north. Jerusalem was to become an international city under UN control due to its holiness for Jews, Muslims, and Christians. Palestinians rejected the plan, seeing it as unfair. Jews, who made up a third of the population, received 56% of the land, and Palestinians lost their historical territories. In 1948, when Israel declared independence, Egypt, Jordan, Syria, Iraq, and Lebanon attacked it. They lost. Israel captured 78% of Palestine's territory, and Palestinians lost their homes, becoming refugees. In 1967, tensions rose. Egypt blocked Israeli ships, and Syria and Jordan prepared troops. The USSR spread rumors about an Israeli attack on Syria, fueling the conflict. Israel launched a preemptive strike, destroying Egypt's air force, and in 6 days captured Gaza, the West Bank, East Jerusalem, and the Golan Heights. These territories are held by Israel as buffer zones. The 1979 revolution in Iran made it a key player in the regional conflict. Ayatollah Khomeini called Israel a tool of the USA because of its military cooperation with America. In 1982, Israel invaded Lebanon to destroy Palestinian Liberation Organization bases that were attacking Israel from the north. This led to the emergence of Hezbollah, a Shia militant and political group in Lebanon supported by Iran. Israel controlled part of southern Lebanon until 2000, but did not annex these lands. In 2000, Israel withdrew its troops. Iran also supported Hamas, a Palestinian Islamist movement in the Gaza Strip, created in 1987 to fight against the Israeli occupation of Palestinian territories. In 2007, Hamas seized control of Gaza, ousting representatives of the Palestinian Authority who supported negotiations with Israel. Because of this, Israel and Egypt, which had made peace with Israel in 1979, imposed a blockade on Gaza from 2007 to limit Hamas's weapons supply. This blockade reduced the flow of arms but caused a humanitarian crisis, making it harder for civilians to access food, medicine, and construction materials. Iran supported Hamas in Gaza and Hezbollah in Lebanon, supplying them with weapons and finances to weaken Israel and strengthen its positions in the Middle East through control of Shia groups. Israel responded with strikes on the bases of these groups, including in Syria, to stop the arms flow. Syria became a base for Hezbollah and Iranian forces, who used it to supply weapons and launch attacks on Israel. Israel struck these bases to weaken them. In 2024, the Syrian opposition, supported by Turkey, overthrew President Assad, an ally of Iran. The interim government led by Hayat Tahrir al-Sham made it harder for Iran to support Hezbollah. These proxy wars intensified tensions between Israel and Iran, but the real threat became Iran's nuclear program. In 2002, the world learned that Iran was increasing uranium enrichment. Israel saw this as a threat due to Iran's ideological hostility and threats to destroy Israel. Ayatollah Khamenei, the supreme leader of Iran, repeatedly called to wipe Israel off the face of the earth. In 2010, the Stuxnet computer virus, allegedly created by Israel and the USA, damaged centrifuges in Natanz, delaying uranium enrichment. In 2020, an explosion in Natanz, attributed to Mossad, Israel's intelligence agency, destroyed part of the nuclear facility, weakening the program. In 2021, Hamas fired rockets at Israel. Israel responded with Operation Guardian of the Walls, which claimed hundreds of lives in Gaza. In October 2023, Hamas carried out a large-scale attack on Israel, killing over 1,000 people. Iran supported Hamas, supplying rockets via Syria and tunnels between Gaza and Egypt. To weaken Hamas's position, Israel invaded Gaza, launching a military operation that continues to this day, controlling part of the territory and engaging in combat. This led to a humanitarian crisis, destroyed infrastructure, lack of food, medicine, and limited access to humanitarian aid. In 2024, tensions rose. Iran increased uranium enrichment to 60%, approaching the 90% level needed to create nuclear weapons. According to the IAEA, in 2025, Iran had 5 tons of enriched uranium, enough for several bombs. Negotiations with the US started in 2015 to limit Iran's nuclear program in exchange for lifting sanctions brought no results. In April 2024, Israel struck the Iranian consulate building in Damascus, Syria's capital, killing 7 officers of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. The strike was a response to Iran increasing its forces in Syria and supporting Hamas. Iran responded with rockets on Israeli bases. In June 2025, the conflict reached a new boiling point. Israel launched Operation Rising Lion, attacking nuclear sites in Natanz, Fordo, Iran's military factories, and eliminating several key figures connected to the nuclear program. Israel explained this by saying Iran was close to creating nuclear weapons and negotiations with the USA had failed. Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, said, "We will not allow Iran to threaten our existence." Iran responded with drone and rocket attacks, damaging a medical center in Beersheba and cities in central Israel. Israel tightened the blockade of Gaza to limit Hamas's ability to receive weapons, which, along with new fighting, worsened the humanitarian crisis in the region. The conflict between Israel and Iran escalated after the 1979 revolution, but its roots go back to the partition of Palestine in 1948. British colonial policies and the Zionist movement encouraged Jewish migration to Palestine, which led to the wars of 1948 and 1967. Iran seeks political and religious influence in Lebanon, Syria, and Yemen by supporting Shiite groups like Hezbollah in order to dominate the region and oppose Israel and the West. Israel sees Iran as a threat due to its support for Hezbollah, Hamas, and its nuclear program. Geopolitics makes the situation even more complicated. The United States provides Israel with military and financial aid, Russia supplies Iran with weapons and technology, and China bypasses sanctions by buying Iranian oil to support its economy. Israel seeks to ensure its security in the face of Iran's threats to destroy it. Iran wants to be a regional power through its Shiite networks. Meanwhile, Palestinians in Gaza suffer from military action and a blockade that limits access to food, medicine, and building materials. Rising oil prices due to instability in the region increase energy costs around the world. The Israel-Iran conflict combines a struggle for security, regional influence, and control over the Palestinian issue. Israel wants security, Iran seeks dominance, and Palestinians want a state of their own. Will escalation be stopped? Share your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like and subscribe.